unbelievable.
If you don't know, get to know.
But I think what surprised me is the fact that you go into these shops.
How long before I get the mullet and the moustache?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we are going to be telling you exactly what we think are the 10 best things about living here in Australia.
And if you're new here, I'm Jamie, this is Sarah, and we moved to Perth, Australia from the UK about a year ago now.
Now that we've been here for a year, we did made a couple of these comments when we first got here, but I feel like now we're settled in, it's time to revisit what we're thinking are the best things about living here.
Yeah.
So let's just jump straight in at number one. It's the obvious one. It is the sunshine and the beaches.
What's the temperature today?
The temperature today is 35, feeling like 38.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's at this temperature that I finally feel like I am coming alive.
Yeah, I think we're lucky here in Perth. It's a dry heat, as you hear some people say. On the East Coast, it is a bit more humid.
Yeah.
But it's just great to move away from somewhere that was... We were from the northeast of Scotland, so it was grey, windy, cold most days. And to come here and for most days to be warm, sunny, and just quite pleasant to be out in. It's just nice. And just the sun, even if it's not that warm, if the sun's out, it just makes the day a whole lot brighter.
Yeah. My parents are currently visiting us, and so they've come from, you know, those maybe 5-6 hours of daylight they're getting in the UK at the moment, the cold. And, you know, when they got here, they were a bit tired and recovering from all of that seasonal affective disorder, which I think probably everyone gets to some degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just to see their kind of personalities coming back, they've, you know, maybe some health issues that are really, you know, sort of going away and becoming more easier to manage.
Mm-hmm.
The sunshine just makes everything better.
Absolutely.
We love the beach. We love the beach in the morning for a sunrise swim. We love the beach for a sunset. I just feel my absolute happiest when I'm outdoors in the sunshine at the beach. So that is number one, and it is definitely the most obvious one.
And number two is just the outdoor lifestyle we have now. I mean, we cycle to and from work, we go out to the beach in the evening, see sunsets. Haven't had sunrise yet, a bit early for that. But just getting out and about, enjoying the outdoors, four-wheel driving, love doing that. Just meeting up with friends outside, even when you go out for lunch or dinner or anything, you're always just outside. And just spending all that time outside is just... It's just really refreshing and really great.
Yeah, we've always been outdoorsy people. In Scotland, we loved being in our camper van and being in the mountains, but it was always just a bit of a thought. It was always just that little bit of added extra effort that it took to get wrapped up, to think about the cold, and you really had to push yourself someday to do it. Whereas I have the opposite issue here now. I have to push myself to stay indoors and chill out a bit, because I just find there's so much fun stuff to do outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to getting back out there, and now the weather's getting better. It's summer now. I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing some four-wheel driving and doing maybe a bit of camping and kind of, yeah, just getting out there and exploring.
Yeah, absolutely magical. Cycling, swimming. We haven't quite ventured into surfing. We have a bit of a shark phobia, but I'm sure that will come on the list eventually.
But it's great, even before work, to go out and have a swim in the ocean. Love swimming in the sea, love going for a swim, so it's really great.
Yeah, definitely. Number 3 is the proximity to Asia. And I feel like this is a big one, because a lot of people talk about when you're moving to Australia, the fact that you'll be giving up a lot of easy and convenient travel around Europe to the rest of the UK, etc. Even transatlantic travel now seems pretty insignificant from the UK. So you're giving up all of this, you know, ability to travel freely and easily when you move to Australia. And the options are fewer, we will say that much. We definitely feel like there are less places to go. However, the difference between where we live and going to Asia, it feels like you're stepping into another world. The culture is so different, the food is so different. You really feel like you're getting a very proper holiday. For us in Perth, only a 3.5-hour flight away. I
think for us, especially from our perspective, because our shorter trips would be to Europe, and there's not, I mean, you're still in Europe, you're staying in the UK and then going to France, you're still in Europe, still roughly in the same place. However, coming from, as you say, Australia and going to Southeast Asia, and that being a 3-hour flight, it's just crazy. And seeing the difference between here and there and getting the difference in climate and culture and food is just so, it's amazing.
Yeah, so we have recently got back from Bali, which was amazing. As I say, we were only there for 3 nights, but it felt like such a break. felt like we experienced a completely different culture and everything. It really felt like a proper trip, even though it was only 3 nights. And on the bucket list, we have quite a few other Asian countries. So the big one would be Japan, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Go on.
No, I was saying, I can't wait to go to Japan. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the other we have been to Vietnam before,
Yeah.
but Southeast Asia, etc. The list goes on and on. So we love having greater accessibility to this corner of the world.
I would like to know what people think of Japan and where you should go. I don't know how you decide. Do you just, people like get the train and go all the way up and down? So if that's what you do, I'd like to know.
Yeah, there we go.
Number 4 is sports. We've been to so many sports events while we've been here. As shown by this, we went to go see the Lions tour. They stopped off in Perth and played the Western Force. That was good to see. You might have seen an earlier video where we went to the Ashes. That was amazing. We've gone to see the BBL, gone to see the AFL. Any sport we can see. We've got
the BBL is Big Bash League cricket,
Yes.
which is like a 3-hour short T20 style.
Yeah. The AFL.
The footy, mate.
Footy, yeah. If you don't know, get to know. It's good. It's a really good sport to go and see. Would definitely recommend to anyone moving here. And how do you think the Eagles are going to do this year in the AFL? Eagles, Dockers, obviously I think the Eagles, did they only win 1 game last season? So when we were choosing a team to go and watch the AFL, we were like, we're probably going to go see the Dockers instead. Sorry, Eagles fans, but...
So we have here in Perth, we have 2 AFL teams. We have the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers. Of course, there is a big rivalry, except for the fact that one team is head and shoulders better than the other at the moment.
Yes, indeed. So, hopefully the Eagles have a better season this time, but we'll certainly wait and see for the next season.
Maybe. I think what's shocked me about these sports is, first of all, the public transit in and out of the stadium is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's
your tickets
fantastic.
Tickets include public transport, so you just flash your AFL ticket and get on the train. I think that's great.
Yeah, and people do complain sometimes there's a bit of a wait for the train, but I have never been waiting more than maybe 15 minutes to get out of the stadium. And if you compare that to some other stadiums we've been to, you're waiting hours.
Yeah, for sure. It's really smooth for what it is. For the amount of people that are there, you can't really fault it. It's going to be congested because there are so many people, so,
So you can't actually drive your car to the stadium, which I think makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So they have really invested all the time and energy into getting the public transit right, and in my mind they've done exactly that.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing that makes the sporting events really accessible here is the price. So I looked this up. We paid $50 each to go to the Ashes.
Amazing.
Which is crazy, and those weren't even the cheapest tickets.
No, and that was a full day of entertainment. We got there at what time? We got there at like 10.
Yeah.
And we didn't leave until 6.
Yeah.
So an 8-hour day just spent watching sports. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, the AFL, you can get tickets for $39, I believe, are the cheapest ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that is such a great deal and really promotes just a great atmosphere. We've loved learning about the new sports and getting down to the stadium, and I really feel like that's where Australian culture is seen in its best. The way people were dressing up for the Ashes, how into the AFL people get, you just really feel like you are experiencing a slice of Australia.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what it would be like living in Melbourne, where it's like that but on steroids. They have the Formula 1, they have the AFL Grand Final, they have the Melbourne Cup, which is its own public holiday there, by the way.
Yeah, crazy.
So, sports, big thumbs up for us in Australia. It's about time we started to learn how to play some of these things.
Yeah, for sure. I think we should get a beach cricket set and see how we do with that.
Beach cricket set, here we come. So number 5 of the best things that we love about living in Australia is how our diet has changed. So in Scotland, in the UK, we ate a lot of hearty foods, a lot of pastas, a lot of curries, a lot of things that are going to keep us nice and warm. And to veer away from that, I found personally took a lot of mental energy. We were always grabbing for, a pizza or, as I say, something sort of comfort food. Whereas here, we just don't fancy that food anymore.
No, not at all. I was thinking the other day that aside from a hot chip, which I'm a fan of, I can't remember the last time I ate either a boiled or a roasted potato because I just don't want the hot starchy vegetable.
Yeah, we just tend to throw a bit of meat on the barbecue and make a salad, and that's what we eat.
Yeah.
If we go out for brunch, it's obviously the smashed avocado. I love an acai bowl. I love that fruit, that cold, zesty, crunchy, fruit bowl. We always have fruit in the fridge. It's mango season at the moment. We're always grabbing a mango every time we go to the shops.
I'd love to see your acai tier list, by the way.
I do actually have every acai bowl I try goes on a ranked table, which maybe one day I'll share with the vlog. And maybe I'll reveal where I think the best acai bowl in Perth is. But yeah, we just find that our diet has completely changed. Combined with that outdoor lifestyle, you just really feel like you are nourishing your soul a bit more, I think.
Definitely.
And we do, go out and have the odd hot chip, but yeah, we just have naturally found we're gravitating towards healthier foods, which has been great.
Yeah, definitely. And number 6 is, I think, the perks of living somewhere that feels like you have a vibrant economy. Definitely from my perspective, coming from somewhere like the UK, there's definitely at least a bit more of a pessimistic mindset on what's going on in the country, and I feel like here it's definitely more optimistic. There feels like there's a bit more going on. There's the high street, as you call it, or not really the high street, that's what I would call it, the shopping malls and stuff, they're always full of people. Storefronts are busy, people are shopping, people are out doing stuff, everywhere's busy, and there's just a really good positive feeling out there. I feel like there's not much of that back where we came from, so it's nice to come here and to have a positive feeling into what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. We commented on this when we first arrived, that there seemed to be a shop for everything. There's a tennis-only running shop. There is a shaver shop. There is a shop for literally everything. But I think what surprised me is the fact that you go into these shops and the people working there are really passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
We've been going to lots of furniture shops and stuff like that, and the salespeople just generally seem really proud of what they do. Medical receptionists, the list goes on as to jobs that in the UK would almost be seen as kind of like lower jobs that you have to do if you can't get a proper job.
Yeah.
But here, and for the better, that is definitely not the case.
Yeah, I haven't seen many shops that are boarded up or to let or empty, whereas if you go to a high street in the UK, at least 50% of those shops will be boarded up to let, or there'll be no one there, which is, it doesn't feel great. But here, I'm not seeing any of that, and it's really positive, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, and I think people often say that Australia is 20 years behind the rest of the world, and to be honest, this is probably true in that regard. I think if you go into JB Hi-Fi, you definitely feel like you've been transported back to the 90s. And a lot of that is to do with the lack of online shopping infrastructure here.
You can get online shopping, because I think people have told us before, you can still get Amazon. You can, but the choice is definitely much more limited. I'm very surprised in Europe when something can't be delivered the next day. Whereas I'm finding a lot of things here, you have to wait at least a couple of weeks for it to get here, and that is a big shift.
So there is a Amazon warehouse in Perth, so there is a small selection of stuff that you can get delivered next day. But as we said, the variety is just a lot lower. In the UK, you could get, I'd say, literally anything delivered next day.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're saying that is a positive thing, that it means that all of these shops are still, a really positive shopping experience. And although, I don't know, I do miss online shopping, but it is good to know that there are lots of jobs out there, and you definitely feel like the place as a whole benefits from that. We've also had, our own struggles with employment over here. A lot of our friends have also gone through multiple jobs since they've been here. But what surprised me is how quickly people pick up more work. It's all visa dependent, and that won't be the case for everybody, of course, but on the whole there is lots of work to go around, which is great and quite a contrast to what we experienced in where we were living in the UK, which was definitely a city in decline, which was quite sad to see.
Yeah.
So number 7 is the expat community. So this will be a bit of a controversial one. I know a lot of expats get the reputation of just moving to a place and becoming Brits abroad and just, looking for the nearest Sunday roast and just holding on to British culture. But I'd say we are falling somewhere in between the two. I think you're naturally going to gravitate towards people who are going through something similar, people who are also looking to build new relationships and new friends. And we have really found that the friendships we have built here have been the best friendships we've had as a couple in our adult life, our best kind of couple friends. And we've just found that we've all gone through really tough times over the past year, and we've all been leaning on each other in a way that you wouldn't do if you were in your hometown and surrounded by your family.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, you're naturally going to gravitate towards people going through a similar experience, and especially if someone has arrived here at a similar time to you. You are going to relate to them a lot more. You're going to find it easier to befriend those sorts of people, and I would love to have a big group of Australian friends and join in with the Australian culture, but I mean, Australians tend to already have their own friends, and they've already lived here their whole lives and have their own networks. They don't necessarily looking for people like us. So, it's just that naturally you gravitate towards the people that
Are going through something
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Australia in particular obviously has a lot of Brits doing the same thing and moving here, and that is a big positive. You're not alone. There are lots of people going through the same thing as you. There is a slight negative to that, and I remember the first few months I was here, I was going to a lot of meetup groups, a lot of apps and stuff like that, and I just got so sick of, have you got your Medicare number through yet? Oh, what visa are you on? Oh, how are you going to get sponsorship? Oh, do you have your tax file number yet? Like, I would just come away from those being like, oh, can we stop talking about Medicare numbers? But you grow out of that quite quickly.
Yeah.
And that's just the very early phases.
Yeah, I think that's like stage one expat in this country. That's all you want to focus on is like how you got here and how you can best make the most of your time here. So it just takes, I guess, one step removed from that before you actually start to get to know some people.
Yeah, and our group of friends isn't just British expats. We're friends with Germans, Argentinians, Kiwis, and people from the UK. So we're learning a lot about other cultures as well, which is great fun and makes for a good laugh.
That's it. Number 8, it's early mornings. I think this was something we commented on in one of our first vlogs when we moved here, because obviously we had the jet lag and we were near Costa at that time, and we went to the beach at about like 5:30, and it was stacked full of people. And since then, we too maybe have joined the early mornings club. We're
smug morning people now.
It's just so nice to get up before work, have a good start to the day, go and grab a coffee from the nice local coffee shop.
That's open at 5 a.m.
That's open at 5 a.m, obviously. Go for a swim in the sea, really get refreshed. I love doing that, by the way. It's nice to get up in the morning and go for a swim. It's really gets you G'd up and ready to go. And really just frees up the day, because when you come home after a long day and it's maybe been really warm, you actually don't necessarily want to get out there in the heat, so it's nice to kind of get out in the morning and make the most of the day.
Yeah, most of the office buildings will have end of trip facilities, which I've commented on before in other videos. But there is something I find quite smug about. So the routine is we get up, go to the beach, have our coffee, and then head straight into work and get ready at work. And I just love the feeling of rocking up at my high-rise office building in the middle of the city, all sandy and salty. Like, it just feels so wrong. Like I should be in, corporate stilettos and whatever else.
I would guess that it feels very Australian.
It feels very Australian. And I'm sort of leaning into that smug morningness where I'm like, oh, they don't look like they've been to the beach this morning. Oh, they've really missed out.
How long before I get the mullet and the moustache?
We'll see. No, but we love mornings at the beach. It's when the wind is the lowest. That pink sky that you get is just absolutely stunning. And we are really embracing the mornings.
For sure.
So number 9 is that Australians love following the rules. And initially this kind of catches you off guard a little bit. There are a lot of rules to follow here, and there's not very much leniency on those rules. But now I'm getting my head around them. I'm actually really liking it. Like, I love just knowing where you stand and just being able to get on with it. So speeding, we've spoken about people driving here, that people really do just stick to the speed limits. And that just makes driving so much more cruisy, easy and enjoyable.
Yeah, because it is a speed limit. I mean, the name implies it's a speed limit. And I think what you don't have in Australia versus the UK, it's a speed limit, but also you can go 10% above the speed limit plus 1 or 2. And that everyone just knows that. It's not really advertised, but people just know that's what you do. Whereas here, it's easy. The limit is there. You arrive, you know the speed limit, don't go to the speed limit. There's no secret social rule that you have to know or have to figure out. The rule is the rule, and that's it.
Yeah, and speed cameras in the UK you're told about them. So you'll be warned that there's a speed camera coming up. When there is a speed camera there, it's fluorescent yellow. It's got signs. It tells you what the speed limit is. They can't hide speed cameras on you. You do get the odd kind of, what would you call it, spot check, like a police car sat
sometimes
there.
you get a police van sat there, but even that is hard to spot, but it's still painted in like chevrons, so if you can see it far away. They do try and hide behind a corner, but it does have to be like fluorescent.
Visible.
Yeah. And still the 10% plus 2 rule still applies, so you can still go a little bit over the speed limit and it's fine.
So it's a lot easier to spot the speed traps before they happen in the UK. So I think people try and rely on that a bit more, which means there is just a lot more speeding, a lot more aggression in the driving, which you really have to, and a lot more cars.
Yeah, definitely a lot more cars, yeah.
The freeway traffic here does get bad at rush hour, but in terms of the just citywide congestion, I personally have not found it too bad.
No, it's got room to get worse.
Yeah. So yeah, the Australian rules are something that take a little bit of getting used to, but we're really enjoying getting used to. There's the plumbing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're not allowed to do a lot of plumbing here in WA.
Or electrics, I think.
Or same with electricity, you're not allowed to do your own domestic plumbing and electricity. Except as of 2024, they really pushed the boat out. They added some things that you were allowed to do yourself. That included, there are a few things, but what has been particularly memorable to me is that number 1, you are now allowed to plunge your own toilet. And number 2, you are allowed to change your own shower head.
Yeah, because we installed our own shower back home. We also changed a lot of our plug sockets in our own home. Couldn't do that now. And I don't think we would have necessarily known about this, but I think we went to Bunnings and we saw a sign that was like, please be aware that due to WA laws, certain things you're not allowed to do. So do they dob you in? If you buy pipe fittings from Bunnings, they dob you in?
Yeah, it's kind of the plumbing section of Bunnings. There's just notices everywhere. You're not allowed to do this.
No fireworks either. I know it's different, but you're not allowed to buy
Oh, I
fireworks.
didn't know that one.
Yeah, not allowed.
Yeah.
You can only go to proper fireworks shows, whereas in the UK, you can, if you're 18 plus, go out and buy your own fireworks, shove them in the garden and just have a party.
Yeah. Interesting. I actually didn't know about that. So yes, there are lots of rules here. Might take a while to get your head around them, but once you do, I find it easier to navigate, and you just know where you stand, basically.
Yeah. And the last one is cafes, the food, restaurants, everything. It's just so great. The bar is just definitely a lot higher. I think I'm used to there being a bottom of the barrel level, but here I haven't found the bottom. Everything is like at least mid to high tier. I'm yet to have a bad Avo on toast. I'm yet to have a bad coffee. I think the coffee that I've had is generally all at a really good standard. I've not had a bad one yet. It's just, I think you really benefit from having the lots of smaller local cafes and a lot less chains, and I think that is great, and you should really try and keep hold of that one. I don't want Greg's, I don't want Starbucks, I don't want any of that. I'd just rather have lots of small local places. It's way better.
Yeah, definitely. And I find there's like everything's kind of concentrated into like the middle band. So we've not really found anywhere that's really rubbish. We also struggle to find places that are really, really good. We have found a couple. Our top 2 are Madeline on Beaufort Street in Highgate. That is probably our number 1 favourite restaurant. We've only been to once. And number 2, for a very fancy evening meal, was Gibney, where we went for my birthday in Cottesloe. So those are 2 very nice restaurants. But on the whole, Australian service, that kind of really high level of dining is not really done, I don't think. But the kind of middle, the breweries, the small plates, the pizzas, those are all, and the cafe, like the brunches are all stunning.
Yeah. Like, we went to the Indian Ocean Brewing Company last night in Mindari, and the food there is amazing. I mean, it's way better than you'd expect for a brewery, or way better than I'd expect from a brewery. Really good quality food, loved it, drinks were good, amazing, and I just feel like if you would go somewhere similar in another part of the world, the quality would be nowhere near as good.
Yeah, we've got a pub just on the corner down the road in this random suburb. It just needs to serve beer, like people just need to be able to walk to it for them to buy beer. Yeah, it's really, really good, which was a very pleasant surprise for us.
Yeah. I could be wrong here, but I feel like just the nature of a lot of the produce being local and everything being made here or grown here, I think probably really helps the quality of everything. I could be wrong, but that's one thing that I think could be contributing to that.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the end of our top 10 favourite things that we love about living in Australia. Let us know if we've missed any. I know some of those have been pretty cliche, but you know what? It just is because that's how it is. So, yeah, let us know if you agree, if you disagree, and maybe we'll have to address, now that we've been here for a year, the things we're not loving so much. So, stay tuned for that.
I don't know, I want to see the acai tier list personally, but
maybe we'll have to work up to that. But we've got a busy few weeks ahead of us now. My parents are here. My sister is arriving this coming week. We are so excited for Christmas, and we hope you are too. And we'll be bringing you along for it all. So please give us a subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of it. And we will catch you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.